serving the community for 8 years as president of the Harrison Chamber of Commerce. Still very involved in the community. She's the facilitator for CORE, which is the downtown group, revitalizing the downtown area. Member of the Rotary Club and several organizations, including being on the Harrison Task Force for Race Relations. Member of Eagle Heights Baptist Church and loves spending time with her husband, Lauren, her daughter and family, and the rest of her very large extended family. Nita Cooper is also going to help report on Harrison. An undergraduate and graduate degree, a graduate of the University of Arkansas with a master's in agriculture and extension education. She is a county extension agent, staff chair in Boone County, where she has served as the extension agent. She's also served in Faulkner and Boone counties. And in addition to being the chair in Boone County for extension, she coordinates the 4-H program and the community development program in the county of Boone. And she's worked with the Chamber of Commerce to develop the youth leadership program in the county. Currently in its 15th year, she's serving on the Harrison Chamber Regional Board, president of the Chamber Commerce Foundation, and on the National Association of Extension 4-H Agents Board of Directors. Ladies, take it.
How are y'all this evening? Our crowd's kind of a little bit. That's okay. That's all right. We're going to share a little bit of information with you about CORE and about the exciting things that are going on. Right after our breakout sessions, I was having a discussion with my seat mates over there, and they said, you know, there's just no silver bullet. And there's not. There's not. Every community has different challenges, different strengths, different weaknesses. But goodness gracious, if we had that silver bullet, then there probably wouldn't be a need for us to be here today. But what we are going to do is share with you a little bit about CORE, about some of the successes of CORE, and some of the obstacles we still have to address, and the exciting things that are happening. I'm going to give you a little bit background information, and then Lane's going to jump in and really talk about CORE and how it emerged. Background information. Harrison. How many of you people have been to Harrison? Okay, all right, great. So you know a little bit about our community. Well, like many communities that we've talked about today, the downtown area of Harrison really struggled. We have a courthouse square, beautiful area, lots of history, but we struggled. The business seemed to move to the north side of town, Highway 65 going toward Branson. Everybody's shaking their head yes. Walmart settled out there, a lot of other businesses followed. Our core downtown area really suffered. So we were faced with the challenge of what do? We had a Main Street organization that had a very strong presence in Harrison. We lost that due to some funding issues and other issues that had to be dealt with. Main Street went away. So things just kind of floundered for a while would be a good way to put it. It's kind of like Susan was saying this morning after the tornado, nobody was in charge, so nobody really knew what to do, and everybody was kind of going around in circles and looking at each other doing this. So, in comes CORE.
And CORE stands for the Central Organization for Revitalization and Enhancement. Sounds really great. Now, we did not come up with this. We'll tell you where this came from. Earlier today when we were talking about the importance of your young professionals, we had two folks into our community. One was a gentleman by the name of Jack Moyer, who is a managing owner of the Hotel Seville, which was a downtown historic hotel down there. The Stuttgart Hotel reminded me. He's who popped in my mind when you were showing the picture of the motel in downtown Stuttgart. He had come to us, I think he grew up in Kentucky, had other business, including the Crescent and the Basin Hotel in Eureka Springs, and he'd gotten involved. About the same time, we recruited a lovely young lady named Rochelle, something else at that time, it's Moyer now, you kind of see where this is going, and she came as the director of our Ozark Arts Council. She came to us from Florida, well, they dated for a little while. They both had a passion for the community. They relocated there, and I teased them one day. We were out eating lunch, and I said, you're the closest thing that we have to yuppies in our community. You know, we don't have very many, and you are two of them. Well, they ended up getting married, and they put their passion into what they can do to improve Harrison. Even though, interestingly enough, they do not live in Harrison. They live in Eureka. That's where their kids are in school, and they have continued to be extremely involved, though. They came up with this idea of CORE, and Jack told us the other day that actually she came up with it about 2 days before they got married. They were sitting in a motel. They were having their romantic getaway for the honeymoon. She was worried about this and came up with the acronym for CORE. Said, I don't know what that means about your honeymoon. But anyway, so they actually had the good idea to go and look at who could be a champion in the community. And what they did was they went to our retired congressman who had served us for years and years in Congressman, John Paul Hammersmith. A lot of you along the I-49 corridor know the name because it's named for him. And asked them to become involved to get the community leaders involved. They approached me as being the facilitator. I'm in business for myself. Patty, who's going to be our Vanna here in a moment and show the strategic plan to y'all because I've got to bring it up here. But she is our chamber executive now and does a great job. And their thought was, let's get John Paul to bring the community leaders together and launch this idea. I am not the leader of the group. You know, those of you who've read anything about the Occupy Wall Street, they talk about they are a leaderless group. Well, they didn't come up with it. I'm not sure we did, but we are one. We basically have no designated leader other than John Paul, who considers himself the convener. I am the facilitator, and what we have developed as far as CORE is a group where people can bring ideas, they can choose what projects they want to work on. And here's one of the key things that John Paul reminds us at almost every meeting. We are not there to supplant any other organization in our community. We are here to be servants to the Harrison Chamber of Commerce and to the city government itself, and to our Convention and Visitors Bureau, and to our economic development entities. We are to help them by being a place where people can bring ideas, where those ideas can get vetted into the community, and we can give back up to the organizations that are putting those in. Because somebody mentioned today caves. I had never heard that, and I love that. Because every community has Citizens Against virtually everything. And what you need is the ability to say to those people, you didn't come to the meetings, you didn't get involved in something positive, and so consequently, we are working on this. Feel free to come back. We will have your back. And we had a great example of this when our city council did something that was controversial. We had a town meeting that was called against them, and we got to stand with the city council people and say, they didn't come up with the idea. It came through us, it was vetted, and they put it into place. Where were you all? And it has gone ahead. It's our road diet, and we'll talk about that. Again, back to leaderless. We have a core group that meets quarterly. It's open to the community. Everybody can come. They're publicized. They're on the front of the paper. Mayor Daly has been one of the people that's come along and helped us. Judge Lyons was here. He's come and attended some of our stuff. We've had great help from outside this community. We partnered with Breakthrough Solutions, so I'll point to Mark, who's been an integral part of all of this. That has helped us with bringing resources to our community and keeping those core groups, our community groups, going. We have a little steering committee, which we call our hubs. And our hub group, we say, is the avoider of train wrecks. Because all these people are off doing something. Nobody's kind of in charge. You know, ask the Occupy Wall Street people. That gets kind of scary. You don't know what's happening on a day-to-day basis. But we meet once a month to listen to what's happening and help decide the next emphasis of what we'll do. And then within that, we have what's called spokes. We don't call them committees because nobody wants to serve on another committee. Spokes are kind of cool. And our spokes are where the work really get done. And then they report back and let the hubs know what's going on. And then we have our large meetings once a quarter now to report out to the community what we're doing. So that's kind of our organization. One thing we all agreed with is that the downtown area is vital to Harrison as well as to all of Boone County. And anytime we come under pressure about why are you focusing on a small group, we repeat that over and over and over again to people because it's the truth and we want them to understand that.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how we reassess our situation. We try to get feedback any way we could from the public. We had surveys, we used SurveyMonkey, we did public meetings, we did interviews, and we actually called all the mayoral candidates on the phone and said, okay, if you're elected, what are you going to work toward? What do you want to do? I mean, we really did everything we could to get input from the public. And you know what we heard? Nobody asked me. We still heard it. As much as we tried to do, as many public meetings as we had, it didn't matter. So you're still going to get that. Keep going anyway. Keep going anyway. What we're doing now, actually, Rochelle and I have been talking about this for a while, is we're going to actively engage our youth. We did try to do that through surveys, but y'all know how hard it is to pull the youth in, especially when we're having meetings during the day. We did have a few public meetings in the evening, but we're going to make a concentrated effort to reach out to the youth to get them to get feedback. I mean, really, they're why we're doing this. I mean, we're, you know, I've been around Extension for a while, and, you know, they're why we're doing this, and that's why y'all are here. So we're really working toward that. Another thing we did, we established a boundary, the core area, which is about a 15-block area, and I think this has been touched on already. Constantly we get, why are you just concentrating on this area? Why can't you go north of town? Why can't you go south of town? So that's important. Things are happening in the core area. There are also things happening on the north side of town, on the south side of town. It's very important to the whole process, but we have maintained that focus on that core area just for the reason that Lane pointed out. Whatever happens in the core area of Harrison affects the whole county. That's the thing about Boone County. Everything comes into Harrison, not only from Boone County, from Marion County, Newton County, Carroll County. We are truly a hub for our region, and we've heard that over and over again today, how regionalism is so important. And we are a true testimony to that.
One thing to tie into what she said about the idea of it being a regional area, and it isn't just about Harrison. We heard a lot from the county people. Well, you know, what's the big deal about downtown? I live in the county. So we actually did studies that showed a huge number of our county employees are employed downtown. Our hospital is downtown. Our county library is downtown. Our county offices are downtown. When we looked, I think they had about 140 employees of the county in our core district that worked in our core district. So the county couldn't tell us it wasn't important. It was extremely important to them.
The majority of the property downtown is owned.
The majority of the property is owned when you look, and the college is right downtown, the central campus. We went to a refocus piece because one of the things somebody said to us is, you know, I sit in your meetings and listen, and you talk about, well, the corner where the old drugstore was, and the corner where so-and-so used to be. And they said, why do you talk about that? You're only looking backwards, you're not looking forward. So we started changing our terminology to only talk about the positives type stuff. So we start our meetings with what's good that's happened in the core district in the last month or the last quarter, depending on how long we've had a meeting. What businesses have opened? What things have gone into effect? We don't get to say anymore, well, the corner where the old drugstore was. And one thing we did to really emphasize that, in one of our meetings, we passed out a sheet with our realtors of all the vacant buildings in our area and said what businesses would be good in there, their business opportunities. And they had to turn back in sheets with where a good coffee shop would be and where good dry cleaners would be and what things could be positive for the future, where we would get that into our mind, that these things had great potential and it wasn't just homes of things that used to be. We spent a lot of time just talking about our assets. Ed Levy, who was one of the Cromwell and Associates people that worked closely with us, that Breakthrough Solutions brought to us, said to us one time, you know, you've got to get everybody on board. And we talked about it. We thought, we've got these K people. We just didn't know what to call them. And we thought the advantage of not being a governmental organization, we're all volunteers. We have no support from anything. It's an ad hoc group. We don't have to make everybody happy. We don't report to a board. They can't do anything to us. They can't go complain about us. They can write letters to the paper, but the paper's very supportive of us, so it doesn't get them very far. We can just keep moving forward, and that's what we said. We had one meeting one time last year. We all sat around and griped through the whole meeting, and I'm a facilitator. I shouldn't have let that happen. It was our small group, and then I felt guilty for the next month. And the next meeting, we said, you know what, here's our pact. We're going to talk positive. We're going to look at the good things. We may roll our eyes occasionally, okay, but we are going to keep moving forward in a positive manner, and we're just going to run over those people that only want to look at the negative in our area.
Okay, now for our successes. A walking trail downtown. That's there is a trail downtown, and they put a map to it. but they're also working on a trail all around the city to connect the elementary schools to make it walkable, a safe, walkable area for our kids. HHBA, the Harrison Historic Business Association. With Main Street going away, we kind of lost that connection. We lost our business association. So the group came together and they have formed the HHBA, the Harrison Historic Business Association. They have given direction to our downtown area. They've taken over some of the functions and some activities. They're working to bring folks downtown. They do special things on the holidays. They stay open late. They plan Fridays on the square where they bring in arts and crafts and just anything to get people downtown. It's been really good. Where's Patty? Where'd she go? Patty has our...
Oh, thank you. Just trying to sneak in. I was going to let you go from back there.
Our strategic plan, very, very important. Y'all know how important this is to any organization. So that's something that we are very proud of. Education on how to develop a community. And we'll get more into the strategic plan. I'll let Lane delve into that a little bit more. Education on how to develop a community. We've provided workshops, brought in speakers, had help from many, many folks around the state. Entrepreneurship. We have a spoke that focuses on that. That's something that is very important to the process. 2.5 years, 21 new businesses. 2.5 years, 21 new businesses. That is amazing. Amazing. We talked about what could be. We discussed that. And then we also have some traffic count data that is very positive. So I'm gonna let Lane finish up. She's gonna talk about the road diet. We've mentioned that a couple of times today. We could spend lots of time on just the road diet. That is a very interesting process, the strategic plan and then the traffic count.
Well, one of the things in our strategic plan we did is called 10 Tracks to a Thriving Community. Again, all done by volunteers through the impact of our community meetings, our surveys, and everything that we did. Worked with Breakthrough Solutions. They helped us put it together and get it printed. And the pictures were all taken volunteer. Everything done in here was volunteer that we did. And now it's becoming a roadmap for where we want our community to go. One of the tracks that we had was improving the aesthetics of our downtown. And one of the ideas that came actually from Cromwell and Associates when they were in was the idea of a road diet, narrowing it down, adding bike and pedestrian things. We looked at all the statistics, we believed what Cromwell told us, and we thought, great, we'll do this. About that time, we had the opportunity to take back Main Street. One of your communities, and I don't remember which one it was, said your downtown Main Street was a state highway, so you couldn't do much. We made the decision to take back our main, was it Mansfield? Okay, both of y'all? We had the opportunity, because they were getting ready to repave our Main Street, we took it back and it became a city road again, from point A to point B where we wanted to do our road diet. Then we worked with the highway department to repaint it as a pedestrian on both sides, 2 lanes, and a center turning lane from a 4-lane, which is what we had. It not only made it look better, it now carries more traffic. We're up about 400 cars a day so far on that with no more accidents. Actually, the time frame, they look the exact same number of accidents, and we know we've got some work to do with traffic lights and stuff there. But in addition to that, we've been able to track year to year our restaurant taxes that came in from that area, and it's up about 3%. So we can go back now to the people that were concerned in that area that we were destroying downtown by taking away their 4-lane. What are you thinking? And say, look how well it's done, and we have some statistical information now to be able to prove to them. One of our successes, I think, is one of the ladies who sat on the front row, very angry at me during the public meeting. It was bad enough that the mayor, who not a whole lot of people in our community like a lot because he's very progressive, and so he's doing a great job, asked me if I needed somebody to walk me to my car after the meeting. I'm thinking, I thought they were always after you, not me. I didn't really want to be with him. I'll walk with somebody else, thank you. But one of the ladies that was sitting on the front row that day was at our last core meeting, sat by Patty and had great ideas. And I was just shocked over that. I thought, we're making headway here. It was exciting. But what we're continuing to see as far as momentum is the fact we had our first quarterly meeting of 2012 on Monday. We set up for about 30 people and had to bring in tables and chairs. We had about around 40 people that were there for the meeting. Yesterday, we started what we're calling Advance Harrison. And we're taking this from Mayor Daley and the group that met with the downtown Little Rock group where they met every Thursday at 1 o'clock, isn't it? We're meeting every Tuesday at noon. Just if people come, great, but it's to have lunch, and if you've got ideas, bring them to us. And yesterday in the little restaurant on the square, they had 14 people, which is about more seats than they have. Way more than we thought we would get. And so we got an email today that said they're going to start moving to different restaurants in the downtown area. But the best thing we can tell our people is we're improving the downtown business climate. And what we are seeing, when you mentioned 21 new businesses, that's 21 net. We've had some people leave. We've had some businesses close, and we all will. I mean, this is starting in 2008 going forward. But 21 net new businesses during that period of time. It's a huge thing for us in our area. And we're so thankful for the experience that we've had. Mark, we're thankful to Breakthrough Solutions and all that you have done for us, to the experts that you have brought to us to be able to do this. And the thing I'll tell you, we started with no money. We started with no organization. We still have no money. We still have no organization. But we've been able to make a great improvement in our community.
The people that you've got, the people that are members of your
Steering committee, spokes, okay.
Do you call those spokespeople?
They are spoke champions. They are spoke champions. They have their own name and everything. Yeah.
This is Mike McCollum. He's with Cromwell Architects Engineers. He was part of the architectural team that came to Harrison and did the charrette. So, stand up.
I want to tell you for a second, how many people in here know what a charrette is? Oh, yay. Now, see, none of our people in our town did until they came and did them in our community, and it's a great thing to pull people together. So we're so appreciative for Cromwell for doing that. Who was the question about? Yes, Marty?
Okay, when you took your street back, how did that affect your funding? Because now it's not a state highway. How did that affect how do you maintain it now that it's back?
The city maintains it. The city made up their mind to maintain it. They know that they'll have about 20 years before they have to resurface it. They chose to not take back the bridges. We have bridges on both ends because you think of where we are. So we did between bridges. Our idea was, it couldn't have worked better last year during a bad snowstorm because it was state highway. There's no state highway people in here, are there? You know, they work on all their state highways, and our main street was a slushy, snowy mess because it's not their priority, and you can't blame them. Their priority are the state highways. So people complained about that. And we said, great. Let's take it back. Our secondary roads and alleyways were in better shape than our main street was because of who took care of it. So while people were complaining about that, we said, you know what? We can just take that back, and that snowplow could be over there before you know what's happening. So they liked the idea, and it's 20 years before they have to worry about repaving it and painting it. Now they'll complain then, but they'll forget. So. Yes,
A plus, but I'm wondering if it'd be a problem. Our Main Street is also a national scenic byway. Is that gonna? We have signage issues. I don't know if we were to really do something physical with the street. Is that going to be a problem?
I don't know that for sure. We're a National Historic District, and we didn't run into that, but that's our buildings and things. So I'm not sure how the roadway works. Highway 7 that comes through our area, you know, it's hard to go anywhere in northern central Arkansas that running across Harrison because all the roads dump out there. And it's a scenic highway, and actually 7 comes through our core district, but we didn't ask anybody of that. So, you know, sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. And that may have been what we did there.
Harrison, Arkansas. The reporters, not the facilitators. Reporters. That's right. For each group. And if everybody would reach into your packet and pull out your sheet and turn over to the back side of that sheet, and you'll see a little statement that says, please contact me about the next conference. So, after you've completed it, be sure to put your name on there and email so you will not miss out on the next conference. But all of that just to point out to complete your evaluation. And how many of you played the Arkansas Lottery? Well, you got a better chance in this room to win one of the door prizes. So stay for that. Reporters?
Where did Tom go? Oh, there you are.
Alright, my community was Mansfield, Arkansas. So a couple of our aha moments for the Breakthrough Solutions Conference was that we're moving away from industrial recruitment and moving more towards people recruitment. So that was an interesting insight. Also, the theme seems to be that we need a lot more youth involvement in community and economic development. And also that, we have a lot of organic growth in our communities working with existing businesses and entrepreneurs. And also revitalization is critical to the future of our community. So focusing on that. A couple of different projects and ideas that we had as we were working together to come up with different solutions. One of them for Mansfield would be building a hotel or a bed and breakfast downtown. Really important just because Mansfield doesn't really have anywhere for people to stay overnight. So it's really affecting their tourism and some of their growth for some of the other projects that they want to do around Mansfield. So really important. Next part would be the Dixie Theater they have downtown, which is could be a very big asset if revitalized. Also would help, create more artsy culture in Mansfield. So that was one of the different projects. The next part would be creating more educational opportunities, such as a regional educational network with working with U of A of Fort Smith. So there are a couple of different projects that we thought would be very good for Mansfield. So, and didn't we have a couple of different people that wanted to kind of share their perspectives on it from our group? Y'all want to share those? Thanks.
Okay, like he was saying, we were talking about, having a hotel. And the reason being is we talked with Treva, and she said that they had a Arkansas State bike rally or conference that was supposed to go. Track meet. And there was no place to stay. So they were unable to do that. So we would like to see, there's a lot of beautiful stuff around. They could build cabins for people to stay in a bed and breakfast, and just kind of attract more people. So.
Kind of following up on that, there's lots of assets that Mansfield has, and it seemed to be the thing that was lacking to make those actually function was a place for people to stay long enough. It is kind of between towns, and so if you're going to do something, you would really need a place to stay. Like the National Forest has already tons of trails for the four-wheelers and people want to do the outdoors kind of activities. But right now, you're kind of limited because you have to stay quite a long ways away and then drive on in. So that kind of is the key element that we're lacking for a lot of the resources that we have.
Okay, we have the MENA group, and our AHA Insight Top 3 was, the first one was to change our cultural, this is really good writing, I read this a while ago, to change cultural set to support the growth that's needed to happen in the community, and to value the change that's going to happen, not get hung up in the way they want things to remain. So that was the top one. The second one is to involve youth and get them involved in downtown, like one of the things we've talked about this morning. The third one was the need to sell the impact of development. We've got a lot of things out there, a lot of different ideas, but getting everyone on the same page and educated about what the vision is and communicating that vision is very, very important. Our breakthrough strategies, our top one, we've got a lot of different, we've got motels and we've got a lot of cabins that are rented in the area, but one of the things that came out that I thought was a pretty good breakthrough solution, and evidently was the top one, was a retreat center. Associate that with our airport, which can bring in any size airplane. Folks that want to come in on Learjets into a retreat center situation. Also with the Washita National Trail through our community. A trail from Mena to Mount Ida was mentioned, and to really do some support for the hikers. We had not thought of that, or I hadn't thought of that. So I think that was something that really wasn't right there. Our second thing was to educate educating the state citizens as to the value of the value of I-49. I remember now. Is the value of I-49, making sure that it's not just being thought of as something to benefit the west side of the state. It's truly a statewide initiative that will benefit the entire state, and it needs to be promoted in that way. And the next one was the new vision of MENA, and just where are we going and what is our vision, and getting everybody involved in that. Thanks.
No way. This is by, I'm not sure exactly how this happened.
I wasn't either.
Moments. We talked about the actually one of the big ahas to begin with was, you know, they mentioned when they started talking about Stuttgart downtown, they talked about the hotel and that needed a partner, needed somebody to be involved. And so I think we had one of the bits of information provided was the potential for Kimpton Hotels, which is a group of people who actually are engaged in and as a external partner actually come in and work in small and renovate downtown hotels. And so that's an opportunity that gives them a direct connection that they can go back and explore. Also the potential for regional partners surrounding the Stuttgart area. We talked about Pine Bluff and Helena, and, Little Rock, and other communities that offer the potential for regional collaboration. We also talked about the agricultural and green industry associations of the Stuttgart area, and the fact that they have that huge research connection that offers potential for growth and development. And then, like everybody else, we talked about ways to engage youth. We talked about redevelopment of downtown and the potential opportunities for mixed use in downtown as one of the opportunities as well. And then another of the priorities was stronger connections with the farmers market and actually connecting to their heritage and taking advantage of the German, Slovak historical connections that are there and making that a very high profile part of the community's connection to the world around. Other things?
Yeah, the farmers market and the German having a German Heritage Festival, which we do have, and it's more of a local festival, and making that more of a regional or statewide festival. And the other was to put more emphasis on the people from Stuttgart who aren't going to college to work on their technical skills, so they can get jobs in the community and stay in the community. Train people to be welders and plumbers and electricians and technical skills that they can learn without the need of a college degree, but still be able to work at the manufacturing or the rice mills that already exist there.
We actually talked about the potential for there to be the excellence associated with that. Think about West Coast Choppers, for example. That is a technical skill that has been turned into a market potential that is worldwide. I'm from El Paso, Arkansas. Just up the road from El Paso, Arkansas is Romance, Arkansas, the home of. No, that's not what it's the home. It is Romance. Do what? Extreme taxidermy. You know, it is the new thing. So
you'll be able to catch me in the latest reality TV show.
There you go. The costume.
Door prizes. If our lead speaker or guest speaker Dave would come forward. And Harrison. good book. The first prize is a good book.
It's a good book.
Called Change is Good. You go first. And the winner is, you must be president to win.
Bob Frank.
Bob Frankie. The next gift is from the Holiday Inn Airport. Here, it's a weekend night and next day breakfast for free. At some point in the future, I don't know what it says on there about that. In the next 2 weeks, no. For a weekend at Holiday Inn Airport, this hotel, winner is
Kerry Wood.
Kerry Wood.
From Delta, Texas.
Kerry's not here.
That for Kerry. All right. Cecil Clark.
One quick thing to note, several of you have asked to look at our strategic plan. It is on our website, which is coreofharrison.org. So if you'd like to look at that strategic plan, you can go there. The prize package today consists of one night for two at our historic 1929 Hotel Seville, dinner for two at John Paul's Restaurant, which is in the Hotel Seville, also dinner for two at DeVito's Restaurant, which is amazing, admission for two at Mystic Caverns, and admission for two at Boone County Historic Museum. Yeah, come see us. And you can ride the road diet free.
The winner is Dave Ivan. No. Philip Wilson.
I need 3 representatives of each community to come forward and sit right down here in the front seats. 3 from Mena, 3 from Mansfield, 3 from Stuttgart. 3 from each. Where did Stephen? Stephen, get 2 other people. And y'all all sit down here in front.
I think there's only 2 of us from Stuttgart.
Have a seat, yeah. There's one last lesson. It's quick. Can you believe there is another lesson to be learned about vibrant, sustainable, resilient communities? There is. And we will show it in the form of a short video. You'll see.
Is something going to fall from the sky? Where's the water?
We're still alive. We can still do this. Okay, base runners. We need some base runners. Wait for it. Make her throw strikes. All
right, that's it. Let's go, girls. Let's get it up. Come on now. Come on. All the way up. Let's go. What do you say now? Come on, G.
Wait for one. Wait for one. It's coming.
Go now. Come on now, girl. You got it. Let's go. What do you say now?
Come on now. Three.
Make it. Make it throw strike. Come on, girl. You got this.
Yes, yes. Okay. Run it out. Run it out. Hey, yes. That's it. We'll take it. All right. That's how to start it, girls. Let's go. them back. 2 to tie, 3 to win. All right, that's it. That's it. Shea. All right, we got one on. Let's move it around.
Man, I can't get around on that girl.
There's a limit here. Lay on down. You think?
Batter up. Let's go. Come on. This thing is not over. We can do this.
We go 3. What do you say now? We go down 3.
Okay, ladies. Okay. You can do this.
See one first. See one first. See one first. What do you say now?
Okay. That's it. Yes. Okay, we're alive. We're alive.
All right, tell me the words. You got it.
All right, okay. That's it. That's it. Okay, Casey. Okay, wait for your hit. Pick a good one. Okay, everybody hits. We need base runners. Everybody on base. 2 to tie, 3 to win. Let's go. Just wait for one. Find your pitch. Okay, Casey. Just me. Just me.
Wait it out. Keep your eye on it. Rip your pen.
Make her come to you. She's getting tired. Make her come to you.
Keep your eye up.
Keep it alive. Keep it alive.
Wait it out. Knock it out. Knock it out.
She's getting tired. Make her come to you. Come on, Casey.
Two down, ladies. We got this. Let's go. We got this right now.
That's got a chance.
Casey, you okay?
No.
You're on the bases.
Can't do that.
Why?
No offensive player can be assisted by another offensive player or coach. If she gets the ball out of the ballpark, she still has to touch the bases.
Okay, my substitute runner will start at first, touch all the bags, and score.
Coach, if you want a substitute runner, the last base you touch was first, the sub goes to first, no runs scored.
No, come on. She hit a home run.
That's
She's
the
allowed
rules,
all the
Coach.
bags.
Bring them back to second, third, no runs
No.
scored. That's the rules, Coach.
She hit a home run.
She's got to touch the bases.
No.
Back
She
at
hit a
second
home run.
and third.
Substitute runner, touching all the bags.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I've never covered this before.
Just touching that side. Just go around the back.
Yeah. You think this looks weird?
No, I've never done that.
That's fine, right?
I don't know. Here.
I don't want to. It works for me. I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen anything like this before.
Our three communities will come forward, right over here. Stand in your groups of three and think of your chief competitor to your community. What community or organization has been the chief competitor? And you don't have to pick up the third person. Two of you One of you is that competitor. You're going to do what was just done. And you're going to start right there, and you're going to carry your chief competitor. Oh, you don't have to carry it. Just put your arms around it. Over the line, and then you're going to help your chief competitor win. The last lesson being from Dr. Mark, ethics, character, even helping your competitor win when it's appropriate. So as everybody in the room is standing and applauding, let's carry them across the line. Come on, we're going to win the game. Here we go. Nina Mansfield and Stuttgart. And our last word from Mark Peters.
Great, just a couple things. AHA is kind of a shorthand for breakthroughs, and there was all these AHAs that took place. Second is great strategic thinking in this room on a brain power, which shows what's possible when we involve folks in our community. And third, from the video, is even though all of these strategies and so forth are important for the future of our communities, ultimately it's about people and connecting with people. And if you touch people in their hearts, they will be with you as you move forward. Thank you, and have a safe trip back.